Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well, staying happy, healthy, and safe out there in the world. Recently our lab held a VR history event. We had a little museum showing a bunch of headsets from virtual reality history and some of the unique prototypes that we built in the lab. We were very lucky. A colleague from University of Utah let us borrow this for the event. This is a pretty rare headset, and so I want to take the opportunity to record a little video showing this guy, because you don't get to see these very often. This is a Fakespace Hi5. This is a really unique headset for a couple reasons. The biggest reason is the wide part of Hi5. And just in case you're curious, I haven't really thought of any script or bullet points to talk about this guy. I'm riffing off the top of my head about it. But it's a really awesome headset. Originally made by Fakespace Labs, Mark Bolus and Ian McDowell are the guys that designed this headset. The thing that made it really cool though is right here, these special lenses. The Hi5 gave you a field of view of close to 150 degrees, so somewhere in the neighborhood of 140 to 150 degrees. And it was an amazing field of view. Even today, headsets seldom offer fields of view as large as this guy, with most headsets right now being in the 90 to 100 degree kind of range. But this guy gave you about 90-ish up and down and about 140-ish, 145-ish maybe across. And so it gave you a really nice wide field of view. And headsets back when this guy came out, and I think this one, I'm probably wrong here, my gut says probably came out, I don't know, 2007, 2009-ish, somewhere in that range. When this guy came out, headsets were very large, very bulky, very expensive, and very heavy. One of the really cool features of this guy is, if you look closely, you see this here. In order to keep the weight down, the frame around the display is actually made from carbon fiber. So it's really kind of unique. Now, one of the other kind of interesting things here is, despite the fact that it's a very, very large field of view headset, it was fairly low resolution. It's about 800 by 600 per eye, so you can see your pixels. But when you use this guy, it never really seemed to matter that much, because the field of view was so large it really engrossed you in the environment. I tell people that the first time I tried a Hi5 was the first time I felt like my feet were touching the ground in virtual reality. Now, for context, I've been working in virtual reality since 2004, and the headsets back then were somewhat more primitive. But having that really large field of view really made me feel as though I was grounded in the environment. And I didn't realize I'd been missing that sensation until I put this on. And it really felt fundamentally different. Another thing that you don't really notice, helps you not really notice the low resolution, is when you start moving around the environment, it all sort of starts blending together. And you've probably noticed, if you play VR games, that even if the quality isn't super great or the resolution of the headset isn't super high, the more you move around, the more your eyes start integrating the images regardless of the resolution. It makes it feel like it's higher res than it actually is. But you did get a bit of screen door effect if you did, stay focused on a single image. I'm going to try to get a couple pictures of what this looks like through the lenses later. But there are a couple other features that were really awesome about this guy, one of which is the way this attaches. So first I'm going to put this on. There are two ways, there are two places you got to tighten this guy, one in the back and one in the front. And there's a couple features that really work best, and I just show them to you. So first of all, you tighten this guy up. You get your height, get your tension around your halo here going, and here's where the really cool feature comes in. That's nice, right? is really cool. This is a feature a lot of headsets lack. And it's really convenient that you can have this on your head, and whenever you need VR, you can bring this down. And whenever you need to look outside of VR, you can bring this up. Now, one of the features of, or lack of features of older headsets is the vast majority of them did not come with their own tracking system. So you had to add those aftermarket. This ring here around the outside is there primarily for you to give a place to attach trackers. Now, though that is a nice convenient place to attach a tracker, there's a problem. The thing that you really want to track in a headset isn't the crown of the head. You're actually wanting to track the eye, or more specifically, the thing projecting light into the eye. So you can see here, folks that were using this last had an InterSense inertia cube. I believe this is inertia cube. Yeah, an InterSense inertia cube, probably 3, maybe. Yeah, I think it's probably an inertia cube 3 here, and this is an IMU-based system. So it uses inertial tracking to measure the angle that this guy is tilted. So you can get your positional information of the head from, say, tracker on the halo, and then you can get the orientation of the actual displays relative to the head from this little guy right here. So this was not an uncommon approach back in the day, so to speak. Another really neat feature, if we can tilt this guy, is that you could adjust the distance from the display to your eye by sliding it up and down this track. Now, back when this was on the market, most of the people using this were either doing some sort of like high-end training, like say with the military or something, or doing scientific research. The group that was using this was doing research with virtual reality. And so you can see some vestiges of that along here. See a piece of tape with little notches drawn on it for different positions that they'd want the headset adjusted. So really neat. Another feature you see here is you see there's actually Velcro all around this. This did not ship with Velcro. People who use these guys added the Velcro after the fact in order to attach black felt to the sides of the headset. So when you put this guy on, as you can see, there's still a lot of space here. You can see a large amount of your real world field of view even when you've got the headset on. So sometimes when you're doing a study, or if you want like a little extra level of immersion, you want to block the world around you. So what people would do is they'd put these Velcro strips on the sides of their headsets and get black felt and stick to it to make little baffles that would occlude the world around them. So if you think back to when this guy was made, technology was limited. You didn't have like massive 4K screens, and you know, if you're rendering, you know, nice wide field of view scenes, you've probably noticed the wider the field of view, the more sort of pushed away the center part of the field of view is, meaning it's occupying fewer pixels on the screen. And that's sort of a problem if you want to render a wide field of view and have a nice, rich, pixel-dense center. Now granted, we're saying pixel dense, it's still 800 by 600, but relatively speaking, keep that in mind. So this guy had a really neat way of rendering a wide field of view where you had a good wide periphery, but also a nice pixel-dense center. And what it was is you actually rendered 4 different viewports at 2 different fields of view. So essentially on your screen, because you'd have a monitor, a 1600 by 1200 pixel monitor. And on that, in one 800 by 600 portion of the monitor, you would render a small field of view that gave you a nice clear view of the center of your screen, or center of the environment you want to see, for the left eye and the right eye respectively. And then below it, you would render 2 more 800 by 600 field of view scenes. at larger fields of view that gave you a lot of pixel density in the periphery, but not much in the middle. Then magic happened. And magic is this guy. This is the Stitcher box. The Stitcher box would take a single DVI input. And remember, you're rendering 4 800 by 600 viewports to a 1600 by 1200 screen, essentially. Now the Stitcher box would separate out those fields of view and then selectively stitch them together so that what you saw coming out of the headset gave you nice pixel density in the center and nice pixel density in the periphery. And I mean, a mark of all the old school awesome VR headsets is that they pretty much all came with a nice big VCU or video control unit. So that's the cool stuff about the Hi5, and I'm sure if I spent more time thinking about this, I'd come up with a million more things to say about it. They are fairly rare. They were very limited run. Depending on who you ask, no one seems to know exactly how many of these things were made, but you know, some people say there were less than 10, some people say there were less than 20. Regardless, there were very few of these made. I've been really lucky. I've got to work with 3 of these, 2 at the University of Southern California, and this one courtesy of the University of Utah this week. And it brings back a lot of nice memories looking at this guy. So anyway, a little bit of virtual reality history for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And for those of you watching out there, you know, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and see you in cyberspace.